Okay, that's that done. I suppose I better go out the mast now, see if anything's broken up there.
And welcome to Turkey, and we've been sailing, as you do when you get your sail back.
Yeah, we went out sailing anyway, but there were quite a few other boat issues that we had to deal with while we were out there, but we did find a nice anchorage.
We did. I hope you liked the film.
Coming up, sails up for the first time this year. A nice place to anchor for the night. And we have our lithium batteries. Hurrah!
We're good, they fit.
These small boxes will change our lives. Inside are 6 lithium batteries which we can charge from our solar panels. Steve is a happy man.
Batteries, that's actually the electronics to go with it, but these are the actual cells.
Oh wow.
There you go. Amazing. Nomada batteries. That's what it looks like. Amazingly, it's not, if that was a lead acid battery, you'd be able to lift it up like that. That's them. Great.
Your toys.
Our toys, yes. Thank you
It's
for
not
coming
a
all this
toy.
way.
They're very special, very untoy-like bits of equipment. Look at that. They look great.
We've driven from Cheshme to Bodrum to pick up these Super B marine batteries, which we now have to install. They are built specifically for boats, so they are waterproof, light, and by all accounts, very powerful.
And that's what they are. All light flashing away, so they should be in some sort of hibernation mode. We join them all together to read up what the bump says.
And that's our power.
What to do? That will be our lovely power, yeah. It'll make a lot of difference.
Okay, so we are pretty excited about this.
Together.
We spent most of last year with just one working AGM battery, and even that has now died. So this collection of cables is a lifeline.
So it has a BMS, battery management system, and a separate battery interface box.
Okay.
That should be that.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited?
I'll be more excited when I'm actually fitting them. When we go back to our boat now, put them in. Lots of cables. This would be the Super B unit. So that's going to be the battery monitor. So that'll have all the information on it.
Okay, cool.
Touch screen. I'll have a read of those. Keep those out.
Now we have to get everything back to Fair Isle. On the way, a beautiful rainbow which always makes the thunderstorm you've just driven through seem worth it. Back home in Cheshme, we unpack a week's worth of stuff we've bought in Bodrum. Not just the batteries, but wood panelling, which will make a box to house them.
I don't think you get 2 full trolley loads in that little car, would you?
I know. And us. We made it.
That's it, I think.
Okay. So the generator came out of this space, but it's still pretty small.
Yes, it's like a little hobbit hole.
It is.
So I can hear, but at least it is somewhere where I can sort of come in and sit in the engine room without sort of leaning over the engine and being on pipes and stuff. It's not bad. But I mean, this is going to be full of batteries in here. So I've got the floor in. This is this bit of wood that we bought in Bodrum.
Right.
So I need to bulk that down. I've got the holes ready, but the battery is just about fit on here. So they fill the whole of this area down here, and then all the wiring, which is all in here, I'm going to have to bring it down and have some bus bars on here. So I've mounted this bit of board. This was the other bit of, it was just a bit of plywood that we found. I couldn't find thick stuff, so I've had to glue 2 bits together and screw them in there. So I'll paint that, and then I'll have, a load of wiring sort of mounted on here. But the really horrible job actually is is trying to get the rest of this insulation. You can see, if you go around the other side actually, you'll be able to see it from there, because you won't be able to see it here.
Okay, I'll sort of come round here.
So up here, this is where all the insulation, it's all coming off. You can see,
oh yeah,
I've still got some to come off here. It's horrible stuff, just crumbles underneath, and it just creates this dust and yeah. So I've washed all the bilges out and hoovered everything that was there, but I've got more to do. I've got all these bits to do as well, but obviously the worst bit was the bit up here, because it falls all over you and all over the engine.
Yeah,
but I've got that down, and I've just stuck this bit up, so I've just got to trim the edges up and mount all this. And this, see, this was the big problem. When that fell down, this is attached to it. This is our automatic fire extinguisher for the engine room.
right.
So it's a gas fire extinguisher. So this goes up in a big sort of loop up here. All these bits get mounted, and of course with the zap was falling down, it was falling, and that could get caught in fan belts and all sorts. So that was my main problem. That's why I ripped it all down and got that out of the way. But now I can mount it all back up there. But yeah, the biggest job is going to be sorting out all this wiring, all these bits here, all that, so we can get the batteries in. I do need to get some other components which will be mounted on here, some DC to DC converters. So yeah, I'll get hold of those. Oh, my light's just died.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, I think that's probably it for today.
I can still see you.
Reconvene tomorrow.
Shower time.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've deserved an evening out. So we're going to go to one of the many restaurants. There are quite a few restaurants around this marina.
There are.
But this one seems to be a particular favourite with the locals, Ferdi Baba.
It's fish.
Yeah, that's
So-
good for you.
A fish restaurant, so you should get some good fish.
Yeah, let's try it. So the way you do things here is you go in,
Yep.
choose your mezes and your fish. If you can get
It's a
in.
little bit stiff.
Wow. We've had these before, haven't we?
Dorado, Cyprian,
Oh, that's a dorado.
snapper,
Yeah.
lobster.
Oh,
They are very
that
fresh,
moved.
very good.
That is still alive.
Yeah. Well, it's fresh. It's good.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
That's enormous. I mean, you'd have to have a team to eat that.
It's a good one. Where do they
Yeah.
catch these?
They are catching near Çeşme,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bodrum, Çanakkale mostly.
Oh, okay. I've seen them catch these, but not lobster.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Calamari too.
You want some calamari?
What do you fancy?
I still think of Dorados.
Do you want a Dorado? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we have a Dorado? Yes. Between us?
Thank you.
Thank you. What do you recommend here from your mezes?
I can recommend tuna, big tuna, marinate tuna, marinate sea bass.
This is sea bass. Oh yeah,
marinated sea
I
bass,
do.
yeah.
I've had that before. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Octopus is very
Could I have a bit of this one? The walnut. That's walnuts, isn't it?
potato or pepper inside.
Yeah, potato and pepper. Lovely.
Yes.
This is a treat because even out of season, this restaurant charges near London prices. But you wouldn't get a view like this in London. And if you do decide to splash out, try the raki. It's an amazing drink, but beware, it's strong. Okay, that's another example. Thank you.
This is my favourite stuff. This one.
The meal comes with several courses, so we settle in for the evening before back to work tomorrow.
So it's back to the boat jobs and some impact adhesive fun. A trick with this stuff is to spread it on well. It'll go all over your hands, but it's not like super glue, this stuff. It'll come straight off. You need to do it on both sides and then leave it for 10 minutes to go a bit tacky. Then comes the difficult bit. With things like this, you've got to get it in position without it grabbing. Once it's round, you can push it in. Now for the tricky bits on the other side.
And with Steve in the engine room, it's a bit tricky because the steps are up. But nevertheless, I did manage to do a little bit of cooking this morning. So we'll just have a quick look in the oven and see if the banana bread is ready. It smells okay. There we go.
Oh, we've got banana bread.
Yep, banana bread. And I think if you'll let me up, I'll go out and get some coffee.
Lovely.
It is a lovely bright morning in the marina today. Sun is out and the people are out as well. just a little bit more than usual. It's been pretty busy the last few days with all the snow and the rain and goodness knows what else. So people haven't been in the marina, but today, let's have a look. I don't know if you can see through the window. Lots of people in there having breakfast. And we come along here. Shops and things like that stay open all winter, regardless of how many people there are here. And along with that restaurant, there is another one which is always open. This one here, outside, dogs lazing in the sun as well. And yes, it is Starbucks. Apparently there are more Starbucks in Turkey than any other country except for the USA. I don't know if that's true or not, by the way. It was told to me by someone yesterday. Anyway, I'm going in. 2 cappuccinos, I think, to go with our banana bread. Lovely cake.
It looks great.
A little bit crunchy. So the batteries. You've got 5 up here, 1 down below. How's it going?
Well, good.
Okay.
They got a bit wet in their boxes up here, so no, it's fine. I mean, these are IP66, which means that basically they withstand a high pressure hose being played on them.
Okay.
They're not obviously underwater, waterproof, but they're not going to be if they end up underwater, then it's the last of your worries anyway. But I mean, yeah, they're going to have they're properly made for the marine environment, so that's good. I've measured it all out. They all fit in nicely on that piece of wood that we've got.
Okay.
Got to work out where we're getting some straps over it and things, but
okay,
it's going to be fine.
Good. And will we be ready to sail when?
I
mean, if I help you, like I normally do.
It's a few days worth, because there's a lot of wiring involved.
A few days.
Yeah, it's only a few days. I mean, a few full days worth of work on there. But of course, we've got to get some materials first. I've got to get the other bits of electrics.
Oh yeah. We do have a couple of days of good weather, so despite not being nearly ready, we decide to take Fair Isle out to blow away the cobwebs.
Work out the way to fold it so you don't fold the windows over.
The winter bimini acts as an extra room in winter, and this winter we have really needed it. Now it's time to be put away. By now it should look like we've done this before. Our Yankee has been mended, or rather, it's been patched up. It's rather old, but we hope it'll last another season. There's always something special about putting the sails back on after winter. Looks good.
Well, we are actually going to go out and have a little bit of a run. Not really in the state to do it. We've got sort of batteries and bits and bobs lying around, but it's not going to be too windy. It's going to get really windy tomorrow, so I don't know if we're going to anchor out or not. If it's, we might be able to and just sort of come back early. We'll see. But it's a nice day, isn't it? Look at it.
Yeah,
Lovely.
it's lovely. I think we had to be back by about 10 in the morning to escape the wind. But anyway, what we can do is just go around the bay really, and then come back again.
Cheshmay's a nice little peninsula, isn't it? So you can sort of go around either way from it and get some shelter. So that's pretty good. So we'll run the engine for a little bit, warm her up, got to get the mains out and give them a call. And we said in the last episode when we went into to Bodrum that they're all very good there. We always call the marineros here and they come and help. You can see we've got, Cheshmay's very good, got twin lines that come down, and basically they come up and the slime line doesn't go all the way back, they leave them on your deck. See, we've got out here on both sides, so that way you can just hand them to marineros, they tie them off next door, and then when you come back they hand them back to you, so you haven't got this line that goes all the way down the back of the boat, which is always the problem, that when you're trying to come in, you've got to worry about catching it, you've got to then try and grab it from the stern and walk it all the way up, and it's always horrible, full of stuff, you have to have gloves on to do it. So yeah, it's just a nicer way of doing it. They've sort of got it well sorted, and it seems to be like that sort of more in the Eastern Med. In the Western Med you look after yourself normally when you come in, certainly in Spain. So yeah, it's nice and easy here. Chesma Marina, this is Fair Isle, do you read that? Good morning, is it possible to have some assistance to leave C45, over?
Could you please repeat your boat name?
Yes, the boat is Fair Isle, and we're on pontoon C45.
Copy that. Yeah, Sonic Arbor Master, over.
Many thanks.
Such a long rope, this.
Well, you need to double them back, so they need to be long sometimes. It's all very quiet in the marina for a Sunday morning. I thought there'd be more people out actually. I suppose there's just no wind.
Yeah.
No wind for sailing. But it's nice that it's warm.
We're just coming into the fuel dock now, but as well as getting fuel, we have to empty our black water tank, which involves this, which is called a blue card, and you get it signed off. They empty your black water tank, and it's one of the rules in Turkey that you can't empty your tank at sea, so you have to do this at the marina. We also do need some fuel, and it's quite cheap here at about 70 pence a litre, so we'll probably fill up. Steve, do you want some coffee? Thank you, teşekkürler.
It's the best service we've ever had from a...
No, no problem.
No, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Excellent.
For clean.
Thank you.
You'll never go hungry or thirsty in Turkey. We've never been quite so well looked after. Out into the open sea. The wind picks up and we're about to set sail when something is wrong.
Well, it's a bit strange that just having sat there for the winter, things seems to have got themselves in trouble. First of all, the reefing lines were all in a knot, and now one of the cars is off the track. It was certainly okay when we came in last year. It must have happened at the last minute, I suppose. But yeah, I'll have to take all these down and off the end and put a new one on. Well, that one, I don't want to look, it looks a bit worn. I think I've got a spare, so I'll put another one on. So I think we'll just anchor in the bay here.
Luckily, anywhere around here is good for anchoring, so we find a nice spot.
And that's reminded me of another job. The windlass was a bit sticky going out, so I'll strip that down and grease it as well. Jobs are never ending.
Okay, it's quite tricky.
I could do without the big ships coming past and rocking me while I'm up here, but yeah, it's taken a while because of course they've got red Loctite on them, I should think, because they're not meant to come out. So how that one came out, I don't know, but these ones really don't want to come out. But I've got to take the one off top to put it on the bottom. Okay, that's going to happen a lot.
Okay, I think I'll let you concentrate. An hour later, and this is becoming a first day out disaster.
Another casualty. It's just broken away, the stack pack. There's a new fitting on there.
It's also getting rather rolly. Looking quite difficult.
Yeah. I'm not sure actually if it's not the fact that they've got Loctite in them, but it's actually dissimilar metals, because this is a stainless steel screw and an aluminium housing, so it's probably over time it seize up anyway. So a mixture of those things, I should think. shape. We're off and sailing, which is really good. I didn't actually get it completely fitted because to get it actually on the bottom, this has got to come off and that's in the way. So I'm going to take the pin out, drop the boom and then slide them all on. So it's sort of up there, not connected. But it's alright. Light winds today. It's a bit rolly in that anchorage, so I'd rather do it when we're in the marina, to be honest. So yeah, enjoy a little bit of sailing. This is our repair. And we had that at the end of last season, just in here, a little tear. Done quite a good job of doing it, but it's got that one as well. It's last season. I hope it makes it this season and we can sort it out next year. If not, we're going to have to be stopping somewhere and doing it, because I don't think we're going to have time. We won't get it all done before we leave. Got all this varnishing to do, look, still. You're getting a bit chilly.
I am cold, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's lovely in the sun and it's nice in the doghouse, but out there it's a little bit chilly. But look at this, look, we're doing 5.5 knots with 9 knots of wind. That's what a clean bottom does for you.
Yes.
We wouldn't have been doing that at the end of last season, would we?
And the new sail, well mended. It's turned into quite a pleasant evening. The sun is shining, there's still a bit of a breeze, but it's not nearly as windy as I feared it might be, so I think we're going to stay the night. And Steve is going to catch his dinner. There we go. The fishing tackle is all out, and here he is. How's it going? Bread, that's not a great bait, is it?
Well, it's not that great because it keeps falling off. But actually, it's the only thing we've ever caught in the Mediterranean was Finn when he was on board, and with this little rig in the harbour,
Yeah.
caught a couple of fish. With the little float that's on here with bread, and that was all right. But I know the best thing to use because one of the fishermen that was on the committee boat when I went out with the committee boat is liver, but we haven't got any liver. So
No,
I'm
sorry.
trying to sort of wet the bread and mould it around. I think that's the best way, but it's not particularly good bread for that. We'll see what we can catch. There are these little pink fish that exist around here because we've seen the fishermen come in with them, and that's what they were catching off the boat over there. And you see them in the restaurants. So I'm hoping they're obviously edible. I mean, they look strange because they look like goldfish. and they're quite small, aren't
I've
they?
seen them, yes, exactly.
But I mean, you see them in the restaurants. We have had them. So yeah, if I can catch some of those, that'll be dinner.
Okay. Meanwhile, shall I heat up some curry?
Oh, you little thing. I haven't seen a single fish yet, actually, but we'll see.
Now lend me to the ocean.
Curry and an evening playing cards. Lovely. The next morning, one of my favourite things about sailing, seeing the sunrise. It makes such a difference sailing Fair Isle with a clean hull. Last year we had sea monsters underneath and we just didn't know what was wrong. But now we're just flying, it's lovely. Wind behind us, quite a lot of wind actually. It's going to pick up, I think, by 10 o'clock it should be blowing a hoolie. But now, how are we doing now?
Yeah, we're doing 6.5 knots, just under Denki, which is pretty good. I mean, when the hull's clean, it makes such a big difference with you know, having a full keel, a big wetted area. So yeah, that's a big difference to us. So yeah, we're flying there just in time because I think it's going to be blowing 30 knots in about an hour's time and makes docking a bit difficult.
We hadn't gone far, but we had a good sail, and yes, there are a lot more jobs to do.
Yeah, poor old Farewell. She's quite an old boat, so I guess you've been quite lucky that things haven't gone wrong up until now, and now they just are.
I can't do it. These are just little things, and it does happen to everyone. The odd thing, I think, is that it happens in the winter when you're not using the boat. Suddenly, first time you use it, there's all these things that are wrong. And we put a little post out actually on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it when we got back, and I said, you know, these are all the things that have gone wrong in the first hour. How does that happen in the winter? And someone wrote back entropy, which I thought was a very good answer.
Yeah, physics joke.
Yeah, I like a physics joke.
The other thing we want to talk about is this blue card, because it did strike us that it's not great for cruisers like us who want to do a lot of anchoring out. So we're going to find out exactly what it does mean, whether or not you can pump out in some places, certainly down south.
Yeah, we know what the rules are. The rules are that you can't, and even grey water, that you're not supposed to have, you know, any grey water, so showers, dishwashing going into the water, which, I mean, no one's going to adhere to that because no one's got a grey water tank. So, you know, we've got to work out which of these rules people actually stick to. So what we actually do have to do in real life as against what the actual rules are. So, yeah, we'll work out what that is and pass that on. But the other thing, actually, before you go off the techie stuff, the batteries. We've got to talk about batteries because these batteries are fantastic. And, I mean, I'm just sort of preparing the area for it now. But got to do all the wiring for those, got to get some DC to DC converters. There'll be a big technical video obviously on this because it's not just a matter with lithium of taking out batteries and put them in, and people talk about drop-in lithium batteries. No such thing exists. So, you know, really it's something that's important if you want to do it to find out exactly what it entails.
So lots of wires.
Well, yeah, lots of big thick wires.
Lots of wires and
cables,
planning.
really.
Anyway, but the weather has been nice. It has been a bit warmer now. So hopefully over the next few weeks, it'll warm up and then we can have our proper sail in April sometime.
I need some warm, I need to do the varnishing.
Oh yes, you need to do the varnishing.
I need a warm week, really, for varnishing. So yeah, hopefully everything will align and then we're off.
Okay, anything else, varnishing? Anything else you want to talk about?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, so thank you to our patrons, thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching. And we'll be back next time with some varnishing, I gather.
Thanks for watching. And batteries.
Okay.